Hey guys, it's Drew here. Happy quarantine to you. So I'm working on the PT Cruiser here, and the window is not working. The motor's having a problem. Well, what I want to show you here is what happened. So this is a motor I took from a different PT Cruiser, from that parts car. So this is right here. The guy who made PT Cruiser window design should probably be in jail. So what he did that is just awful, or whatever supply, the wire that they used is not safe at all. It just frays and peels off with heat. Now this is a 10-year-old car, 12-year-old car, but still, you know, I started having problems with the windows when I bought this. So look at that, the plastic just peels off. That probably could cause an electrical problem. It could probably even cause a small fire in your car or smoke. Just ridiculous. But underneath that is just this cardboard plastic here, or cardboard sheeting, and then just a red and a black wire. You're positive and you're neutral. So what happens here most of the time on your PT Cruiser is where this wire connects here, it becomes frayed right out of this right here. And that's why your window won't go up or down. And I'll show you over here. It's actually doing it over here. Okay, you can see how the copper edges are just coming out of that. So when I use this used motor, I'm not going to use this clamp here. I'm just going to cut it off, and I'm going to rewrap the wire with electrical tape like this. So if you need to get your window up or down, you actually can. I actually took the other rubber sheathing off here. You actually can. Just kind of hot wire it. See, black to black, red to red. And then be very careful, because when you turn that key on your car and put power, you can get a nice little shock if you touch these wires. So carefully, you know, I recommend wearing gloves. We can just tap those together. You don't even have to, you know, and make sure they're touching it, and the window will go up and down. So right now it's stuck kind of halfway open. But this can also be great if you have a window emergency, and you need to get your window up, and you know it's going to rain. I've got another video on how to take the whole door panel off, guys. It's, you know, there's this bar here, and, you know, so anyway, just check out some of my other videos under PT Cruiser on my playlist if you want to see that. But you do have to take the door panel off, and you won't be able to open or close your door while it's going on. You've got this little hook here. That's actually what moves the door handle lock forward and backward. So, okay, guys. Well, anyway, so I'm going to see if I can get this motor transplant to work, because on the other car where I took this out, you could hear the motor spinning, but the actuator wasn't going up and down, and that's this thing right here. I believe that's the actuator, or forget what it's called. Anyway, it's the main part of the window. So we're going to switch out this motor, because this one, the motor works fine. It's just the wire going into the motor is frayed, and it frayed off right at the edge here where I can't replace. So I just have to replace the whole motor. And usually if you buy the whole motor, it'll come as a whole assembly, just everything in. I don't really want to take this out. This is kind of complicated. So we're going to give this a go and just see if I can transplant that motor. It's kind of interesting. All it is, I think that's dried grease that's on there. It looks like sawdust, but yeah. So when the motor is powered, that thing right there just spins around, and that's how your window goes up and down. So let's see how this works. Hopefully the motor transplant will work, and we can get this going again. So guys, as this video is progressing here, I found it is very difficult to put the motor back into the regulator. I guess the little spinning things have to be exactly lined up, and I was having trouble mounting it in, and you know, you're putting your hand in there. So we're going to take the regulator out. That's what that's called, the regulator. And you know, usually when you buy a new window motor, the whole regulator thing, it's all one part, and that's probably why. But yeah, so what I wanted to show you though, a lot of videos don't show you this on YouTube. Okay, so once that motor's out, you can manually move this up and down by yourself. So if your motor, you know, again, if you ever have an emergency where you need to get your window up, this doesn't stay up by itself. But so down here you have access to these screws, obviously, but you're gonna want to, when you remove the regulator, the window, you don't really want to take the window glass out. So you're gonna, everybody says to tape it up there, but what I want to show you is when you roll it up here, those bolt areas where you can reach the bolt right there, That's why those two little holes are there. And then there's one in the center. I think when you undo that, you punch that one out, but right there. So that is what those holes are for. So yeah, you can access it once it's up, once you get it taped up there. You want to make sure that's pretty secure if you tape it up there, because you don't want that falling down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll get back to you. Okay guys, voila. So I took out the window regulator, and gosh, I hope I can put all this back together. We're hoping. If not, I'll just take it to a professional, because it never hurts to try to do something yourself, as long as you got your window closed, because man, if it rains. Now that window is just being held up by tape. You want to make sure that's really secure, because normally I taped it pretty good on the top there. You don't want that glass just flying down, especially on your hands. But this is the little lift for the window. So, you know, they call it the regulator, and it's on a little sliding track, so it's pretty cool. Let's see if we can do a little slidey for you here. So this just slides up and down like this. Now check this out. Here's the inside of the regulator. So as it slides, if you can see it, there's a little wheel in there. Very hard to see. There's a little gear in there. So as it slides, the little gear rolls back and forward. Okay, and then this window motor is what turns that little gear. So as this, we're just trying to show you here without, it's not easy doing this with the camera. But hey, you know what? Nobody else posts this. I'll be, you know, I don't think anybody's actually showed the detail on the thing. So this slot goes in here like this. You can see where it fits. Okay, so there's two on the top. Goes right in there. A little spinny thing. This spins when the motor's on, and that turns the gear that's on the inside. Now, my problem has been getting this to match back up, and I think that's why generally the whole regulator comes as one piece when you buy it, or if you take it out of another car, you just use the whole regulator, because this is really difficult to get in here. But anyway, normally these three screws hold it in there. So yeah, but this would all go back in. All right, so anyway, that's how your regulator works, and you can kind of hear it going back and forward. Yeah, this is just a mess with holding my camera up, guys. That's why I haven't made videos in a while. It's just frustrating, and I don't have a camera system right now, especially with the quarantine going on. So yeah, but you know, that's pretty cool how that works, though. Really, the track is run by a little fan. This is the way most car windows work, so you can see it. You know, let's see if we can get a, can't really get the light in there, but there's a little gear. See the little gear? Right there, there's a little gear. Moves back and forward. Got it. In focus there. See the gear? As soon as I move it, it moves. So there it goes, slowly moving. Okay? So when that little corkscrew turns, it turns that, which in turn makes the window go up and down. So I thought I'd show you that, because, you know, none of the other video, every other video just shows the window regulator. So, okay, but you want to remember, up here at the top, there's a reason that they have these holes there. This top one, at least, goes up like this. That pin right there goes through there. There's one bolt right there. You got to use, you got to get it at the top there, and then there's two at the bottom down here. So, and then of course you got to take off that metal bar after taking all the plastic off. There's plenty of videos on this, guys. Thought I'd show you the inside of the window regulator. It's really kind of cool, but I hope I can put this back together. All right, well, so it's quarantine, guys, and like I said, this video is not going to be perfect, and if you're watching this, just appreciate it for what it is, because yeah, you know. All right, let's get on to the next step. All right, guys, so it took some doing here, and I still haven't screwed these screws all the way in, but I want to make sure that it fits and it works. So you can see I just kind of, because the wire connectors were, or the connection was frayed out, I just connected these wires kind of halfway. Now I can get shocked really bad. Well, you know, get a nice little shock if you touch those wires. You don't want to touch those wires. So when you're working on this, you want the key out of the ignition, and then when you're done, or you can unplug the battery, although I recommend, you know, I didn't get shocked touching the wires while the key was out of the ignition. So I turn the key on, and we're gonna hit that power window switch and watch what happens here. This is kind of cool. Whoops. So let's just set it down here. Yeah, it's going crazy, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna show you. This is how your window goes up and down. and it falls like, okay, so the wire disconnected as I did it, but that's how your window goes up and down. On this track is this little thing right here. So I got that the motor in there from the other car, from the other PT Cruiser, and it seems to work. So we're going to hook this up, and I'm going to see if I can get it put back in. And I hope this doesn't break again. But it sucks I had to take the regulator out to do all that, but we're getting it done here. Slowly but surely. Hey, it's quarantine. I got time on my hands, right? All right, we'll see how it works out in a couple minutes here, guys. Okay guys, so as the sun is setting upon me, I'm getting the regulator back in, and it does work for now. I'm happy about that, the window does. I wanted to tell you about something that could save you guys some trouble that nobody else has mentioned in their videos that they've done on these. Okay, so there's these little brackets right here that hold the window up. I recommend putting those back on before you put the regulator in. Put those in. They're held together by a little bolt here, okay? Because once you set the window in here, it's very hard to get both these pieces back on. There's a little, the way it works is there's a little lip here, and it tucks into there, but the back one is tough. And what happened is the back one on one of these fell off. So that's what I've been dealing with. But other than that, they kind of just stick up there. Now, I did want to tell you too, the back one, they're shaped with a little curve. So you want the curved side facing in to tuck into this little nook here when you're putting it back. So, but anyway, you'll figure that out. Don't do it after you put the regulator in. Put these on before and just slide the window between those. I made that error. There is a, on the other side for the bolt to go in, there's a raised edge. That raised edge goes on the inside. So around this little hole here, there's one side that has a raised edge for the bolt to go through. Okay, so we're getting it done here, and more power to my window. Let's get it rolling. Okay guys, so I got it done, and I got those things in there, so I am grateful. I can tell you this does not sound like a regular window. It's definitely a used motor from the other car, so in good time I'm gonna have to replace the whole thing, I guess. But for now, I'm just, I don't know how long this PT Cruiser is gonna keep kicking. It's got 110,000 miles, which isn't bad. I did, for now, I just really used wire connectors in this. I gotta get some wire butts, but for now this will work. It looks pretty safe. And then the wires I just wrapped in electrical tape 2 or 3 times to make it really strong. And it just seems, I never use the rear windows, well, I do when I have the dogs, but I have a feeling the rear windows are eventually gonna go too. PT Cruiser, you gotta love it, you gotta hate it, but for now it works. Let's see. Actually, I won't turn the car on, I'll just leave it. Turn the key. You can hear it sounds like a 1980s window. It is straining just a little bit, but this is how the window should sound. So I'm not expecting this one to last long. It sounds like it's dead already. Alright guys, well thanks for sticking with me here, and this is not meant to be a professional video. It's just a project I'm doing while the quarantine's going on, and I'm going to piece these together. So there'll always be people who complain about how the video is though, and how it's not perfect, how I did, but if you want to see how I took the door panel off and all that stuff, I do have another video of like 3 or 4 videos on PT Cruiser windows, because I actually did this window before. So I hope you guys are doing well during the quarantine and keeping busy with projects like this. Although nobody needs their car during the quarantine, right? It's crazy. That's why my videos on car won't start have actually dropped. Views have dropped by 50%, guys. I guess nobody needs to start their car, but guess what? After the quarantine, everybody's car batteries are going to be dead. I guarantee you, because if you don't drive a car for 30 days, you're going to have a dead battery. So, hey guys, thanks for sticking with me. This is Drew. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Have a great day, guys.